Hello YouTube, this is Badfish again here with Gone Gaming. We're bringing you back to City Skylines again today. We're going to do something a little bit different than the last video. So we started out our Let's Play in the other video, played the game naturally, went through the milestones. We're going to be doing that kind of on a weekly basis, but I wanted to start a detail run through basically. I want to take a city from start to finish, really detail it, create little sections at a time, go through that with you guys. So today we are going to be starting the city of San Pedro, and we will be beginning with a water reclamation plant to get things moving forward. So we just started with a couple wide pan shots of the map that we're looking at. So the map that we are using is Golden Gate by Owl. It's a great map. It's very pretty based on kind of the San Francisco area, I'm assuming. So we're going to be kind of going with that West Coast kind of theme. So just looking at the map here, it has a lot of great water features to it, a lot of cool little bays and stuff, big highway running through, mountains over on the east side, so we can do some more like mountain villages back in there. I'm thinking the main city though obviously is going to be kind of down on this bottom left here in this coastal area near this river. We're going to kind of build that city up. As far as the plant that we're going to today, I think what we're going to do there is go up kind of up in these bays up top and build one of the water plant in one of those. So I'm thinking this bay right here is going to be the one we're going to shoot for. So we're going to build a highway kind of stretching down from this one up top, going through, connecting down in. That way we can get started with our water plant. We're going to put it right up here on this little piece of flat land. So we'll go ahead and get started building an exit in the highway. So as you can see here, I'm just going through, kind of making a curvy highway, dragging it through the coast a little bit. I tried not to keep it on the coast the entire time, just in case we wanted to do some more building over there, make like a couple seaside villages. Who knows? We'll see. So basically we just brought this highway down here. At the top I just made like a cool little trumpet interchange. I love trumpet interchanges. I think they just look cool once the cars get moving around them. And then down here what we're going to do, we're just going to cap off the highway for now. We'll connect it on through later. I just really wanted this episode to be more about the water reclamation plant itself than actually going in through and fixing the highway. So as you can see here, I just built a little roundabout exit for us to work through. I'm not expecting a ton of traffic to be going through here, so I think a roundabout exit will work great. And again, they just look fun. It's not always going to be about the realism going through this city. I just also want things that look cool, because City Skylines gives you the ability to make some really cool looking stuff. You don't have to necessarily play by all the realistic rules of a real city. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to have a national road kind of curving through up this little inlet into this peninsula here. And I think this is where we are going to begin making our actual plants. So we'll have that run through. We'll switch over to a little industrial road here, and in just a second we'll get the time lapse going, start moving through and seeing what we can make. So what I wanted to start with the reclamation plant was I did want canals kind of cutting through it. I haven't really done too much with canals, or even really too much with a ton of detailing either. This is all kind of brand new to me. I mainly play the game with money on, going through, unlocking things as I go. So having everything unlocked is kind of interesting. It lets my creativity flow through a little bit better, I think. So we just started with those canals there to kind of give us a base of where we're going to put the reclamation plant. So I kind of like the idea of having it on this big island and stretching through here. Did a dirt road bridge there. I don't think there's a lot of covered road bridges in too many water reclamation plants, so we took that out. So we're going to connect this right on over and put a couple pumps in here. I really like the look of the big pumps. I think It looks just so nice compared to the smaller ones. I did throw a small one though on the side of this at the end here, just because it kind of fit in nicely, and it changed it up a little bit. And I wanted this all to kind of, as I was working on it, I was looking at different reclamation plants, specifically the one in Chicago. I think it's the JFK reclamation plant, and then a couple different ones in Germany, just to kind of get the layout understood, as far as the pools and the clarifiers, and what they're all going to do and where they should kind of be placed. So a lot of the ones I looked at, it was really just these big lines of clarifiers next to a couple of pools. Not even, at least not in the pictures you could see pumping stations or anything. So they're pretty simple, honestly, to put down a reclamation plant. So right here I'm just terraforming a little bit because I was having some issues with the canals. Again, first time doing a canal, so I ended up actually eventually putting a flood wall there just to keep the water out, and I think it looked nice, as far as just having kind of that security wall, privacy wall kind of thing for the reclamation plant itself. So this all eventually gets sorted out. I probably should have cut the terraforming, but it's a time lapse, so it's only going to be there for a few seconds. It'll be all right. So basically what we're going to do now is try to run a bunch of pathing through. So I started out just by shading and pathing with the surface painter. But all of these, to be functional within the game, actually do need road connections. So you'll see here in a minute, I end up just ripping roads through them, so allow the trucks to be able to service them. There is some clipping when things drive through, but it ends up looking pretty nice, and for the most part it runs pretty smoothly. So behind here I'm just making a little parking lot. Realized I needed some tanks as well, just to have the water stored. The reclamation plants are super cool as far as what they do. I actually looked up a little bit just to kind of understand what I was looking at and what I was building. So as far as my understanding goes, the way these things work is they take in the sewage water and they're filtered through some sort of substance in these pools, which is usually sand or something along those lines that can filter things out naturally, and they're just kind of spun through with in these plants and through gravity and methods. Basically they're just trying to get rid of all the bacteria, reduce turbidity and color, and remove odors and iron from the water, so that way it's usable again, and they take out all those solid particles. So essentially they're just giant Brita filters. That's what those spinning things are doing. That's what the pools are doing. They're taking that concept of water filtration and pumping it to obviously an industrial level. So here, as you can see, I'm messing around with Move It, trying to kind of flush out this wall here. A little harder than it looked at first, but I think I liked the final product of it. And then I kind of just had to deepen out these canals. I realized they weren't, necessarily long enough to get the flow of water in that we needed. And then, of course, when you mess around with water too much in this game, it decides to fight back a little bit. So again, just a little more terraforming just to try to get that settled down. I eventually do, not until the end of the video, not now, but we're just gonna ignore that. So again, now what I'm just trying to do is clean up the sides a little bit here. I didn't like how the concrete was dipping over that cliff there, so just try to bring that over a little bit. And at this point, actually, I was just getting so sick of the flashing trash and power emblems that I decided just to put a quick little recycling center and nuclear power plant. Just throw down a nuclear power plant like it's nothing, and connect that up, so that way we had the power connection running into the reclamation plant itself. Just adding a couple little transformers and things like that. And then, of course, just running the pipes on through to it, which caused an issue at first when everything turned on, but I left it running for a while. It seems to have worked out well. So now this is where I'm just fixing up, like I said, running the roads through all those clarifiers so they're all connected. This took a little bit just to get them to look the way I wanted, but again, I think once we reach the end, they end up looking really nice. They end up looking really cool. So I did like, I love the way this turned out. I think with anything in this game that's industrial, it's obviously not like pretty in a traditional sense, but I get like a really big satisfaction of like making something look grungy in this game, making it look lifelike. So that's kind of what I went for here. I wanted that grungy industrial feel, of the reclamation plant, and I think we definitely got that. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually just painting through and adding a little more green to the actual area surrounding the plant. A lot of the reclamation plants that I looked up, I'm assuming just due to the amount of water running through them, they actually all had a lot of greenery and a lot of like shrubs and even trees growing through them. So I'm just trying to green it up a little bit. Obviously this is more of an arid desert West Coast kind of map, so I didn't try to do too much, but I think right around the actual plant itself I did just try to green it up a little bit. And then right here we're just adding in some parking spaces, just to add a little realism to the back here, throwing down some decals to add some texture and things. So I am going to do, as you'll see as we run through this, is throw down an absolute mad amount of decals. So what I'm doing with this decal is just adding kind of like wet puddles and things, and then of course the different skid marks. And I'm gonna add like a lot of cracks into the concrete. Again, I did that just because that grungy feel, the industrial feel. I actually worked in property management for commercial properties for a while, and a lot of them have these like disrepaired, or at least they were paved 20-year ago parking lots that they just patch up. They haven't had them repaved in 20 years. So I wanted to kind of just capture that and what that has looked like to me. So we do add a lot of these kind of crack details, these damage details, and might have overdid it a little bit, but again, this is my first time doing a super detailed city. So we'll live and learn. We'll live and learn with it. But I do think regardless, it does look really nice once the finished product's done. Just adding some different decals and stuff too to kind of mess it up. I wanted to kind of simulate that there's been a lot of traffic running through here, a lot of people in and out. I wanted to make it like a very big plant. Maybe there's some other industry going on with some of these pump buildings and things like that. So I just want to kind of emulate that, and I did want to add some security. So right here, actually, I'm adding the security to the wrong bridge. I realized that in just a second. So that's a whoops on my end. So I ended up deleting all that and putting the security on the proper bridge, which is this guy right here. So I didn't try to do too much with the security, just a guard post, couple of fences, some CCTV cameras spread throughout the lot itself, just to give the semblance of this is a government area. It's not like it's a nuclear plant or anything though, so they're not going to be having guard posted every 5 feet, but just enough to keep people out. And the other thing is, with the canals, I basically turned this into an island, so I didn't stretch the fence the entire way around. I just kind of had it in the front side, and just around like the power a little bit and things like that, mostly because I just felt like where it's already an island, it's pretty secure from outside threats. And again, it is just a water plant. You're not, unless you got someone trying to like poison the town's drinking water, it's not really a security threat very much. So again, put a cop car in there, had the guard posted just to give that semblance of the security going through. So at this point, most of the major buildings have already been placed down within the project itself. So now we're just going to go through and start doing the finer details, adding some different cars to the parking lot, flipping a few of them around, parking them crooked, And doing a little cargo area over here. I actually might add a cargo port to the backside of this facility at some point, so it makes sense to have all this cargo here. I just thought it looked nice to begin with, and it allowed me to put some of these cool crane assets and stuff down. But yeah, we might put a nice little cargo port on the back end of this at some point. So right now we're just adding in some parking spots for trucks for the cargo and things of that nature, and having I put these kind of oil trucks to simulate what I'd like to think of as like water trucks almost. I couldn't find like a water truck asset in time, so I just went with these oil trucks, but I think they did the job. Just adding like different water containers spread throughout the facility, adding some different trash, steamroller, because they apparently have tons of cracks in their pavement, so they need to repave a lot. Just some different trash. There's a mattress there. Who knows? Maybe some employee had a rough day, threw out a mattress, brought it from home. I don't know. And then this kind of back end, I wanted to show that maybe there had been a fence around the entire island at one point, but it kind of rusted away and they didn't really see purpose in replacing it. So again, that just kind of goes to the grunginess, and I added this little tower. Maybe it's a cell phone tower, emergency tower, who knows. And again, adding lights in. I went for the airport lights because they did just look a little more industrial, and they keep it very well lit at night. As you'll see here, it looks pretty good. I tried to just keep it kind of spread out to main areas, but it is a well lit facility at night. It looks really nice. So just kind of adding in some final touches, putting in another little parking lot over here by the pumps and adding some texture to everything. Right now I'm just placing CCTV cameras all throughout the property, make it secure. Add a couple cement piles and just some like rubble and construction things going on. I just wanted to feel active. I wanted the whole area to feel really active, and like there's a lot of different things going on, because I feel like it's easy to, and especially in this game, if you're playing the base game or vanilla, to just not put a lot of thought into your water facilities. But in real life, they're busy active areas that have a lot of people coming in and out. So I wanted to try to simulate that and give it a lot of like the feeling that this is an area that sees a lot of heavy use. And I think it came out really, really nice at the end. Hopefully you'll agree. So what I'm doing is just moving some of those parking assets. I ended up not moving them, so I just threw down some more. Just a little parking lot on this side. I felt like the other side was like more of the main lot. This is just for people who need to come over here and park. Maybe they have a little project they're working on this side. Again, just putting down some more of those boxes and barrels and little concrete pile. Just random things, that you might find in an industrial area or in a facility like this. Maybe the concrete piles are there because they're starting to rip up some of the, different parking lots to repave them finally. At least that's the story in my head. I guess we should talk a little bit about the city and like what my goals are for San Pedro. So what I want to do is I really just want to focus in on putting as much detail into a city as I can. This is not anything that like I've typically tried out, like I said. So I really want to make something beautiful. And I'm definitely looking to my inspiration being more of West Coast, LA, San Francisco vibe, like you can see with the palm trees here. So that's kind of where I'm thinking it's located. As far as like actual projects, I wanted to start out with like the water and power, just to get the utilities placed down first. I think that was important to me, just to have, the life blood, because your utilities, your water and your electricity, that's like your circulatory and your nervous system. When it comes to your city, you need those in place. So I started out with this water plant. Next one, I'm thinking I might do a power plant. Don't know what kind of power we're going to be looking at yet. if you have any ideas, if you want to do like a nuclear plant, oil plant, steam plant, if any of those ideas interest you, let me know in the comments for sure. I can definitely take some recommendations there. Otherwise, we'll just get started on some sort of power plant in the next episode, and then kind of move out from there, see where it takes us. If there's things that people want to see, if I get a lot of feedback saying, we really want to see this and the city, I can definitely take a look at that, see what we can do. I'm open to really anything with the city. And we got a lot of land, a lot of buildable land to work with, as you saw it early in the video. A lot of different places we can place things, a lot of cool flat areas, and a lot of water to work with too. So we got all those bays and inlets, so I think we can come up with some cool stuff. But like I said, we're just going to start with the power and the water and kind of work our way out from there. I don't know if it's going to be like a huge city like LA, or if we're going to have like a bunch of different towns and then maybe like one small medium hub city. I don't know. Those are all things I kind of got to think about and come back to. If you have opinions, again, definitely let me know. So yeah, now we're just kind of finishing up the last few things to put on the time lapse here. Right now I'm just kind of looking at the main screen. I think I was just trying to figure something out as far as what I could add. And I think my last couple of additions here actually, they're not even buildings or based on the water plant. What I wanted to do was, again, I made this seem like such a busy area that had a lot of people coming and going. I wanted to add a little area for, the employees. Like, if there's people working their long shifts and things like that, for their breaks, there's nothing really around. So maybe they did like a little playground area, a little basketball court area for the, employees to go hang out, have lunch, eat food, play a game of ball, things like that. So I put down a little basketball court here. I'm not crazy about the super brightly colored one, so I might grab a different asset off of the workshop later. I don't know. It looks fine though. Again, just scuffing it up a little bit here, and just I'm gonna put down like some benches and things just for, like I said, a little hangout area for the employees, to keep active and fit and things of that nature. Because again, it is a big facility, so you'd imagine there'd be something for your employees to hang out on. So again, just adding little bits of trees and little palm kind of forestry. Palm trees, at least in what I've seen, if they grow naturally, they kind of grow in clusters. So I did that, and then finally came back over here, re-terraformed. Got this all looking good. I ended up just taking it all out and having the water come almost right up to the parking lot, but I think it looks nice. And we're going to leave off with just a couple cinematics here of the finished product. So enjoy. Well guys, if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is Gone Gaming. My name's Badfish. If you enjoyed what you watched, leave a like down below, comment of any ideas you might have, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks and have a good one.